My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is November 5th, 2023. It is 12:37 a.m. I've been looking for tweets to share with you and responding to some of the comments that I got on some of the things that I posted on my community board. So it took me a while. Okay, so 3,439 subscribers, new subscribers, welcome. I don't know, my estimate keeps on going back to 300, but whatever, let me not focus too much on it. Okay, my analytics, there's the estimate $316.23. In the last 48 hours I had 2,881 views, and there's the subscribers, the same, 3,439. all right, so before I go on Twitter, these are those tweets that I will be sharing with you. What was it, yesterday I posted well, it's gonna be live later today, but I spoke about Israel and the Middle East, what's going on. I posted on my Patreon. I don't want to bombard you guys over here with that, so I put there's some great conversation in it, some video clips that explain how the situation started and all of that. It would have been a good information for here, but for some reason something tells me let me just put it on my Patreon. So if you are a patron, thank you. And I was surprised because I only had one. Okay, so it's not like I have a lot of Patreon members on Patreon. I haven't been on it that much, and I haven't been posting that much, and I appreciate for your patience. That one person, but I decided to put this information on Patreon, and I just found out I have another member, so I appreciate that. Okay, so it's not like I'm running a multi-million-dollar kind of social media kind of thing. I just want to share as much of my opinion and information as possible, and many of you are not really into all of that, and it could be very depressing, and I don't want YouTube to mess up with my channel. All right, so these 3 tweets, maybe there will be more, and there's some I haven't even touched yet. I may not even touch them because they are too graphic about Israel. So there's 3 additional tweets regarding Israel, Gaza. I need to record. I'm not sure if I'm gonna record them tonight. So that will be on Patreon. And then we have, for this video now, I have 6 tweets regarding, you know, the Sussex squad, and there's one video that I came across regarding Ochocinco. He's a former football player who has actually, I think he has a restaurant, and then there's this other former boxer, I don't know if he still boxes, who sometimes, I just came across it, that do restaurant critics. He doesn't tell people when they're gonna go to, when he's gonna go to their restaurant, and then he does, because of his following, he will give his opinion about the restaurant he went in. So one of the restaurant that he went in was the Ochocinco restaurant, the former football player. So it wasn't a good review, and that football player was very upset. So I will share those videos with you. And there's some stuff with Sussex, Adele's boyfriend, and there's some stuff regarding Kenya's visit. Actually, it's gonna be the first one. It's gonna be a thread. It's gonna be pretty long. So that's that. Okay, Megan, Harry, and all of this. So I'll be focusing these on this channel. Yeah, on this channel. All right, so let's go on Twitter. I think I put this. Oh, I think this is it. Is it 89? Yeah, so there it is. It's this one. Okay, so let's get started. During Charles and Camilla's recent visit to Kenya, they had segregated press buses for black Kenyans and gave stale sandwiches and used What? Used toothpicks to them? Are you freaking kidding me? Used toothpicks? That can't be true. No, nobody use toothpicks. Are you freaking kidding me? That can't be true. So she retweeted this. What in the name? Let's go into the retweet and see what's going on. And who is this person she is retweeting? Okay, award-winning African journalist, focus on Kenyan foreign policy and Africa, diplomacy, fact checkers, Nairobian, target is to visit all 55 African states. Okay, so he's a journalist. Okay, so he's a black journalist in Africa. Okay, so let's read. It's a long thread. I sort of take a quick glimpse. I guess this tweet will pretty much sums up what happened in the visit because I didn't really cover it. I purposely did not want to cover it. Okay, so let's get started. Multiple Kenyan-based journalists have raised concerns about racial undertone during the royal family visit. Those who I have spoken to said they were mistreated and left degraded in their own country, a sovereign country, so to say. There's the thread here. Baggage for God. I will headline it as segregated press buses, stale sandwiches, and used toothpicks behind the scenes of well choreographed but tone-deaf royal visit to Kenya. Journalists have complained of being segregated from their British counterpart during pool transportation. And not receive proper meal despite Kenyan taxpayers partly funding this high-level visit. Organizers, UK and Kenya, allegedly separated local journals from Kenya and the UK drawing criticism and claim of racial discrimination. The controversies began when 3 separate buses were designated for journals, 2 for the royal editors, correspondents, and photographers from the UK, and another one for the Kenyan-based colleagues. I was amongst the credited to cover the visit. Okay, the buses were labeled UK media. Wow. So when they're in the bus, you know, since they are not the same, they will be talking their nonsense. Wow. So they didn't want the other ones to be in there. Okay. The buses were labeled UK media and local media. This raised eyebrows as it appears to segregate journalists based on their nationality and color. Colleagues have expressed displeasure about unequal treatment they receive. I choose to drop all the frustration of colleagues here because you're unlikely to find it in any local television or publication. I can no longer defend the Kenyan media. Colleagues in Nairobi woke up early in the morning and met at Radisson Blue Upper Hill for 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. They were arranged under Route 1 and Route 2. No breakfast, water, and lunch for Kenyan-based journalists. Wow. UK and Kenya was distributing packed food. The Britons received preferential treatment during mealtime, despite the Kenyan and UK state teams agreeing on distribution of food equally. The issue is not about food or water, but contempt. In one incident, some Kenyan-based journalists were not provided lunch, only to be offered a few leftover food bags. What? Only to be offered a few leftover food boxes later. Upon opening, they discover stale sandwiches, unwrapped cupcake papers, and used toothpicks. This was and is disgusting. What in the name? The situation escalated. I would not even eat it. Who knows? They might even spit on it. Maybe the things they threw in the garbage. Then they decided to put it in a box to give it to. What the hell is this? What? The situation escalated almost a week before the royal visit when senior officials from UK and Kenya created a WhatsApp group for Kenyan-based media. The platform was intended to gather all accredited colleagues to cover the royal tour. However, administrators of the group from UK and Kenya, let's see, who's UK and Kenya? Tweet from the British High Commission, Kenya, see also High Commissioner, okay. Wow, he tagged them. Wherever he mentioned, he tagged them so they could see what he's writing. My goodness. However, administrators of the group from UK and Kenya initially enforced restrictions, quote, only admins can send messages, that prevented journalists from engaging in any discussions. What? My personal opinion, this was outright gagging. Only admins can send messages. What? This restriction raised concern about media freedom, and it prompted me to challenge the head of communication at UK and Kenya whether the restrictions amount to a gag order on Kenyan-based media. She told me she did that to streamline communication. 2 or 3 hours later, the settings were changed and all participants were allowed to chat. Colleagues did ask pertinent questions regarding the visit. Nobody sent their personal images or anything unrelated. Someone tried to choke us. It should never have happened. What do you mean by choked us? Some tried to choke us. In other words, they wanted to see picture of them or something like that. I don't know. My God. But anyway, let's continue. Hours before Charles Windsor arrived at hours before Charles Windsor I like the way he put it. He didn't even say king. Hours before Charles Windsor arrived at State House, Kenya, an incident involving a senior Kenyan diplomatic figure and a UK and Kenya diplomat hinted at behind-the-scene friction. The UK diplomat was allegedly involved in a confrontation with a Kenyan envoy over press photographers. Witnesses claimed that the UK and Kenya diplomat engaged in a physical altercation with the Kenyan envoy, who played part in making this visit a success, seemingly over his placement, which she believed was obstructing coverage of the royal visit. The envoy is known media figure. I am saying this because without his input and back-channel diplomacy, this visit won't have happened. Wow. While details surrounding the confrontation remain somewhat unclear, this incident that discussed many journalists and Kenyan state officials suggests that there may have been tensions or disagreements beneath the surface of the carefully orchestrated royal visit to Kenya. I have engaged the Kenyan diplomat on the confrontation. He told me, quote, I think she was just trying to get line of sight for press photographers. Quote, very diplomatic reply. All the best, Balozi, and your diplomacy endeavors. I also have engaged multiple state officials who registered their displeasure with the UK and Kenya official for mistreating senior and junior Kenyan government officials. What the hell? Another unusual incident unfolded at the Nairobi Karioko Carriers Corp cemetery involving the said at UK and Kenya diplomat and a group of 3 individuals, 2 military officers linked to Defense Press Unit and a civilian journalist. According to multiple sources, the foreign diplomat confronted the trio at the cemetery, insisting that they relocate to predetermined fixed position. There were 2 categories: 1 press pool, 2 fixed position. Simama, Rima. Okay, I can't read this. That's their local language. Okay, despite the individual attempt to identify themselves, it appeared the UK and Kenya diplomat paid little heed to their explanations. One source said, quote, it was either her way or the highway. The source noted the diplo was resolute in her demand. She informed the 3 that they were on Commonwealth grounds, thus subject to particular regulation. According to one source, quote, she even threatened to enlist palace guards to forcibly remove them if they didn't comply. Wow. This incident raised question and concern among those who witnessed it. Some observe that the UK and Kenya diplomats seemed to suggest an air of superiority, as if the rules governing the British Commonwealth could be imposed upon Kenyan soil. It left many individuals, including the military officers, feeling concerned and disrespected. This visit was also not without the share of intriguing moments and curious decisions by both Kenyan and British officials. One such instance during the royal visit to Nairobi National Park, when a red carpet was unrolled for the royal family, ostensibly to keep them from stepping directly onto the soil. Oh my God. However, this decision received widespread attention and not all of it was positive. Baggage for God. Okay, Scobie, so he tagged Scobie. Omid Scobie. A royal editor criticized the red carpet rollout for the royal family as being absurd and out of touch with the event's natural surroundings. Okay, so there's Omid here. Even if this was a choice made by the host, and it probably was, the optics of the king and queen walking on a red carpet to avoid soil at Nairobi National Park are pretty ridiculous. I didn't even know Omid said that. I didn't even bother looking into it. But when I saw that thread, I thought that will sums up everything since I didn't cover it. I don't know if any other Positive Sussex Squad channels cover it. Okay. To avoid soil at Nairobi National Park are pretty ridiculous and out of touch. A clued up palace aide could have easily asked for it to be removed. He questioned why a more pragmatic approach wasn't taken, suggesting that a well-informed Buckingham Palace aide could have requested its removal. Furthermore, the royal couple's arrived stepping on a red carpet was met by Dr. Alfred Mutua. Who is that? Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Tourism and Wildlife of the Republic of Kenya. Okay. He has 1.4 million followers. Very interesting. Very nice position too. Recently demoted foreign... Oh, I was saying good position, but now here. Recently demoted foreign minister and now moved to tourism ministry. It seems like there's like a step. But anyway, let's focus on the thread. Another at Royal Family editor, Chris Ship. Okay, you see, I even blacked him. Chris Ship, who had accompanied the monarch on the Kenyan visit, expressed his observation that red carpets seemed to be a particular fascination for Kenyan officials during this visit. So there he is here. Since I blacked him, I could read what I have a choice to read what he wrote. So there he is here. The Kenyans were very keen on red carpets. I saw more of them here than on any other royal tour, but otherwise agreed this looked odd. So Chris Ship said that, which is true. But let's continue. Ship remarked in his tweet that he's seen red carpet in Kenya than any other royal tour. He found this overuse to be somewhat peculiar and perhaps at odds with the practicality and aesthetics of the visit. Alright, let's see here. The royal visit to Kenya came to a close with a delightful and somewhat unconventional sight, demonstrating the lighter side of the monarch. King Charles, of course, aimed for optics and public relations. As the trip nears its end, the King and Queen Camilla opted for a unique mode of transportation, squeezing into an electric tuk-tuk. Okay, so what's a tuk-tuk? A truck? Okay, a popular local three-wheel bike and... Oh, okay, so that's what it is. A popular local three-wheel bike in Mombasa for a photo opportunity. They then ride the tuk-tuk. I thought they were gonna say he rode it from point A to point B, maybe the end, maybe to the airport, but just a photo op. Okay. They then ride the tuk-tuk. King Charles humorously suggested using it to get to the airport. That's what I thought, eliciting laughter from all around. In a playful spirit, royal reporters even joked about racing him to the destination. For their final engagement in Mombasa, the royal family visited Nyali Beach within the Mombasa Marine Park. Dressed in a gray suit and white shirt, the king explored how community groups and the Kenyan Wildlife Service have been diligently working to manage waste. I don't think he give a fuck about this. I just think how they gonna... Let me stop. Focus on the thread. However, the royal visit to Mombasa revealed some challenges. The coastal city is known for its scorching heat, with temperatures that can soar as high as 91 degrees Celsius. Then Harry said something that him and his father, his pa, have issues with the heat, something like that. That's what came to mind as I read this. This intense heat poses a significant challenge, emphasizing the need for suitable sun protection. Visitors are always advised to wear sun hats for women and caps for men, as even a brief walk to the city or on the beaches could easily result in sunburn. Wow, that looks odd, and a suit at the beach, but okay. The climatic aspect appeared to catch the royal planners somewhat off guard, making it an unexpected twist and an otherwise carefully coordinated visit when the king went to the beach donning a full suit and a tie. Well, he will feel hot, but at least his skin will be covered except his face. But anyway, foreign policy, Kenya, is that what is it? Policy, okay. Kenyan foreign policy, link to the story. So there's more of this in here. Wow. Okay, so it's done. So let me read some of the comments, not all. When you invited unknown thieves and rapists into your home, what do you expect? Did Kenyan truly believe that Charles Windsor will see or treat people his country once enslaved, colonized, pillaged, and brutalized as equals? There's a rolling eye. Why did Kenyan agree to host those fossil racists in the first place? Now you know this new monarch is not like the old one. Arrogance is their forte. What did you expect from colonial masters? The royal family is racist after you see how racist they are toward Meghan, a family member and a wife of a prince, fifth in line to the throne. What makes you think a Kenyan, any black or brown person in the Commonwealth will be treated differently? These people will never get away with this nonsense in Nigeria or other West African countries. Kenyans don't have backbones. They still need mental emancipation from colonial rulers. Nigerians and Ghanaians will have protested them out. Kenyans don't learn. What is it? South Africa, when the Netherlands king went, oh my God, they chased them out. They had to run into their car. The king rushed into the car and left the wife behind. It's not funny, but my God. PR trip didn't work, so what a disaster. There's more comment. Let's leave it alone. There's a possibility I might make this its own video. Let me get all of the Kenyan thing out of the way, so that will be a video by itself. So I have one more regarding Kenya, so let's squeeze it together. Next tweet, there's that. Palmolive is mad about Commonwealth visit by the royal family. There's the laugh. Okay, comment by Richard Palmer, royal correspondent in Mombasa. Are all major Commonwealth visit by the royal family destined to be apology tour from now on? After previous royal statement of regret over slavery, it was Kenya's turn this week. I don't know. I had no intention, let's say during the Invictus, how excited I was to share some of this one. I had absolutely none. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of days I didn't even record, and I was lucky because I had scheduled some videos, so that helps me a lot. So I had no intention of cover this at all. This is the only thing that I'm using to cover. If you follow my community board, you will see I'll put screenshot just to inform you, but I wasn't planning on covering it at all. But this one sums up everything for you guys. All right, so let me read these, and then that'll be it for this video. The rest of these, let me separate it now, will be a different video. Okay. UK Recycle System. Maybe I'll put these two. UK Ministry, Mistress. Yeah, let me put these. Mistress. Okay. Maybe I'll add this. You know what? Let's put these in there. Yeah, let's put these in there. I'll add these 4. Keep these separate and then focus on the others, maybe the brothers. All right, so I'll add some more to it. All right, let's see here. Except none of the royal ever apologize. All they do is look mildly uncomfortable and say we regret what happened to black and brown people, and then in the next line jump back into but it's over now. There's that. Let's continue to celebrate our complicated with explore, you know, this all of that. The Jamaican tour really hurt them. The prime minister then gave them the chance to sit before telling them the truth. Palmolive is mad because the propaganda that they spent their entire career creating for the British royal family stopped working in January 2020. They have lost the narrative. That is true. Did I respond to that? I think I came across this on my timeline. Okay, let me go into it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I remember. There's me laughing. I'm still laughing about it. Right. They need to do those tours to continue their funding and relevance. Yeah, Palmolive is a nickname for someone. Yes, his name is in the initial tweet. He is a royal rights and oasis. He blocked me about 2 to 3 years ago. There's that. Got it. Thank you. We have nicknames for all of these so-called reporters. Taliban Chris works for ITV. He gave the Taliban a platform to trash talk Harry. Oh my God, I'm laughing because the way the squad come up with the thing. Right, I just added some stuff on the list. There's Harry and Meghan who went to Vegas to Katy Perry thing. So this will be on my other video. Right, so let's finish this. Palmolive is a nickname. Okay, I read this. Okay, we have nicknames for all of these so-called reporters. Taliban Chris works of ITV. He gave the Taliban a platform to trash talk Harry when he released his memoir. There's me laughing because I said I remember this. Okay, so yeah, there's more comment, but let's move on. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. Okay, I was gonna stop here, but I decided to keep some political stuff in this one, okay, on this video. So there's the next one. 3 more tweets left. Ma'am, keep San Francisco and Los Angeles out of your clown mouth. My state's GDP exceed your whole aisle GDP because of your clown Tory party and those like you. Those living on the streets in your country are direct result of your cruelty. Either way, keep California out of your shit mouth. Okay, so what was this? So she retweeted that. Okay, I think Missan Harriman. Okay, Suella, that woman, what's her name? Okay, Suella Braverman, MP, Conservative Member of Parliament. Okay, so let's read this. The British people are compassionate. We will always support those who are genuinely homeless, but we cannot allow our street to be taken over by rows of tents occupied by people, many of them former board, living on the street as a lifestyle choice. That's a thread. Let's go into it and then I'll come back. There's my comment here. Let's go into it. So it seems okay, so there it is here. Many of them former board, living on the street as a lifestyle choice. All right, so she retweeted here. Suella Braverman is pushing to restrict tents for rough sleepers. Plans includes a new civil offense to deter charities. My God, to deter charities from giving tents to homeless people if their use could cause nuisance. What? That's another thread. So let me not go deeper into that. Okay, unless we step in now to stop this, British cities will go the way of places in the US like San Francisco and Los Angeles, where weak policies have led to my God, what the hell do you have to put your stuff into California? Have led to explosive of crime, drug taking, and oh God. Nobody in Britain should be living in a tent on our street. I agree with that. Nobody should. But many of them are living from paycheck to paycheck. There's not fair living wage. What was it? In one video, could have been on a tweet as I shared that on my community board. I don't know if I cover it on a video. The amount that NHS doctors were getting paid, I was shocked. I still can't believe it. I don't remember the numbers, but it was very low. I can't believe it. But they're not paying these people fair paying wages for them to live comfortable. But instead, they're giving millions to the institution, the royal family, to help charities. But let me just read. All right. One of the problems that is happening in California is that rent is so high. I'll put a link of an article that shows how much, let's say, a six-figure person could earn while, with a family of maybe 4 or something like that, could still have a struggle. So there's this screenshot here. A new study from Lending Tree analyzed just how far $100,000 go for a family of 3 in 100 of the largest metro in the U.S. Researchers found that in 16 of those cities, families with 6-figure income could still struggle to pay their monthly income. 8 of those cities were in California. So is the rent. You have a lot of landlord who, when they build their new buildings or they're renting, their list, it's very expensive. The building that I live in, I was lucky. Okay, a new they redo the apartment. A 2-bedroom could go as much as $3,000 a month. Okay, if not more. I don't know how much the new people that's coming in are paying for their rent. It's the greed within those people. With 6-figure, $100,000, you would think, wow, that's great. Let me read some of the things. The link will be in the description and you guys could just check it out. For instance, I'm looking at the thing here. I already record my main thing, but I'll take screenshot. Okay, California cities where basic expenses are higher than the monthly income of a family earning $100,000 yearly. San Jose, $8,333 monthly income. Okay, this is how much they get monthly. So you have San Jose, San Francisco, Oxnard, San Diego, Los Angeles, Riverside, Sacramento, Stockton. Okay, a monthly income of $8,333 income. For San Jose, the expenses will be $9,000. That's more than their monthly income. And let's not forget, they have to pay for insurance, car insurance, property tax, water, electricity, and all of that. Okay, monthly income. And they have leftover of $1,493. So that woman, it's not because of just policy, it's just the greed that's going over there. All right, so I'll leave that as this, and you guys could look deeper into it. Each state have their own rules and regulation. So for her to avoid her own issue, while the US is trying, okay, is trying, some of the people are fighting back, but whatever. So let's leave that alone. You guys could look deeper into it. But one thing for sure, the UK has its own problem. I'll put that guy who was saying the heating crisis, the all sort of issues, financial crisis that the UK is dealing, and that those people I sometimes put where they can't pay their bills. I'll just put a screenshot of their faces. By now you probably have heard those well, if you just happen to cross my video, you may not know about it, but people who struggling in the UK, all right, shifting their issues to the US have their own issues. Yes, I'm not saying it's perfect, we're still fighting, but them giving the royal family millions and millions of dollars to help charities, and now they're going to undermine the charities and say don't help them. I don't know, UK, that's your problem. That is your problema, but that's major problem. All right, where's my mouse?
Look at the fact that just on energy alone, on a conservative estimate within 1 year, we're talking £1,300 a year going up in bills. We're going to have about 10 million people in fuel poverty. We have a real absolute, not relative, poverty issue going to come in the UK, with food banks oversubscribed, with debt crisis agencies do not have any tools. And I need to say, with the Chancellor coming on in a moment, if you forgive me, as the money-saving expert who's been known for this, I am virtually out of tools to help people now.
Last night, my wife spent an hour trying to glue my daughter's school shoes back together because we can't afford to buy her a new pair. I mean, I'm 65, I've worked all my life, and we can't afford £20 for a pair of shoes. There's something wrong with society.
So with the gas, electric and my mortgage, that's 75% of my wages gone, without anything else, without any, council tax, water rates, car insurance, petrol, food, any of that, 75% of my wages gone.
I can't remember the last time I went to a pub, because I can't pay, £5 for a pint. It's beyond my means. So the local pub's now closed. Not entirely due to me not going there, but that's closed.
Do you find it hard?
Yes, yes.
And so are you optimistic at all about the future?
Optimism. It's not a word I use a lot these days. I'm not familiar with the term.
Let's see here. Where was I? Drug taking. Nobody in Britain should be living in a tent on our streets. That I agree. And I give my reason and what should be done. There are options for people who don't want to be sleeping rough, and the government is working with local authorities to strengthen wraparound support, including treatments for those with drug and alcohol addictions. What was it? Byline did an article regarding what some of the Tory government were doing with some of the fundings and all of that. This place is all corrupt. It's up to the UK to pay attention and vote properly. So let's continue. What I want to stop, and what the law-abiding majority want us to stop, is those who cause nuisance and distress to other people by pitching tents in public spaces, aggressively begging, stealing, taking drugs, littering, and blighting our communities. So what is that? Oh, Cold War Steve. Yeah, he's always doing those images. My God. But you think if those people had the means, you think they will want to live in a tent? Yes, I understand there's some families, occasionally, like I do with my families, we go camping. Occasionally, we do this with the kids. But do you think these people, if they had the choice, they would want to live in a tent and, public places? Oh my Lord. And then the worst thing is, you have those family, the royal family, owning majority of land. God needs to come. God needs to come. This is uncalled for. They grabbing everything, every land possible, and then leave nothing for regular people. People can't even buy. They can't even buy land. Okay, you're such a horrible, unhappy person. Your soul was fashioned in the third hardest pit of hell. There has been a 74% increase in people making that lifestyle choice since you took office. Not a choice, because they can't pay their rent. Are you actually for real? We were made homeless. That's the thing here. We were made homeless when our landlord wanted their home back. They didn't need a reason. Are you gonna tell my kids I choose homelessness? My God, may God bless them. For them, you have no idea how people can end up homeless. You disgust me. But you people refuse to look deeper into issues and people who could represent you better. When it comes to election, you're gonna hear foreigners coming to take over your land, the government and all of that. Meanwhile, they're the one who are in the government. Look what's happening in the Middle East. You think these people wants to stay in a place that they keep it being bombed? Okay, killing them and all of that. So they have to run to safety. And then when they come to your shore, you refuse to accept them. This is one of the things that I said a while back. When you see these people are running, they're coming to your shore and you prevent them to come in. People need land, solid ground to stand on. They don't have fence like fish to be in water. They need land to stand on a solid ground. But you people are grabbing everything, putting their homeland at distress. Okay, the UK and the US are behind what's happening in the Middle East. Okay, we have ourselves to blame for that, because we're not picking or choosing the right people to be in office. But instead, people, I don't know, people prefer money than actual natural things that God have given us for free. And you have a group of people who harness those things, take it for themselves in order for you to have it for your own survival. They chipping it little at a time, make you do stupid things. Oh my God. Okay, after this, that's it. Are the others and we in the room with you now. All right, so that's that. There's another one that I think is related to it. Miss Ann Harriman was talking about it. Oh, let's go back. I'll come back to this in a few. Where is my comment? I wanted to read my comment. Okay, so there's my comment here. Okay, the recycle system, they help put people in that situation. Royal family pretend to be helping the homeless. The royal rights British media blind the people with lies, thus the recycle system. Now give the royal family more money for helping the homeless. Princess Diana will be disappointed at level of homelessness, according to Egg. This is a quote that William had said. Alright, so no need to address Marty's mouthpiece as ma'am. Alright, so that's an ad. People's pointing, people are laughing. Snap. Alright, so now let's go to the tweet with Harriman. Miss Ann Harriman. Okay, so it's a video. I cannot believe I have to say this, but here we are. Alright, it's 2 minutes and 4 seconds. There will be screenshots. Okay, let's listen.
Hey, I can't believe I have to make this video, but here we are. Suella Braverman is pushing for legislation to take away tents in urban areas for people that are sleeping rough or that are homeless, and furthermore is looking to penalize charities for supplying said homeless people with tents. When I first saw the
pretty much that's what I just read, and it pretty much sums it up. All right,
headline, I had to I first thought it was fake, and then I read the article and was just more and more shocked at every line that I read. As someone that's worked with people that are sleeping rough and homeless people, it doesn't take much to end up in the position many of these folks are in. Winter's coming. We are in a cost of living crisis, and the idea that our government can further dehumanize people that have been failed in many aspects in their life, and many of them are survivors of some form of extreme abuse. The idea that we could dehumanize this community of people at a government level is utterly unacceptable to me, and I believe that the majority of people in this country feel the same way as me.
This is the same mentality. The Tories are the same mentality as the GOP. I don't think I have it here, but I think, let me pause for a second and look for it while I'm thinking about it. Okay, I will go back to the tweet of Miss Ann Harriman, but I thought I shared this with you. What the same mentality, the GOP in the US and the Tories in the UK, when they see people going through some rough time, instead of trying to make things easier for them, guide them to self-sufficiency. Instead, they will crush them further down. This is purely evil. All right, this is what's happening in the US here. Okay, so that's the GOP making reference to Palestinians who right now need help. They need help. But instead, this is what they suggest here. Okay, let me read my caption here. When I say We have our own house to clean up first. This is another reason. This is what Republicans want to do. Their agenda is what they focus on. Compassion is not in their nature. It's the beginning of one group. Who's next? Okay? The SAFE Act would render Palestinian Authority passport holders covered alien and admissible to the U.S., bar DHS Secretary from granting immigrants non-immigrant visa to covered aliens, revoke visas issued to cover aliens on or after October 1st, bar DHS Secretary from granting covered alien temporary protection. The list goes on. There's more. Go on my community board and look for it. All right. So this is the same mentality that, oops, not this one, that the Tories in the UK have. They see a group of people going through some problem. Let's not forget, they are the cause. Okay. They are the cause of the problem. And then once the people fall into the pit of the problem that they set for them to fall into the pit, and then they're digging them deeper into the pit. All right, so that's what's happening here. The US, the UK, same problem. All right, but let's continue with misempowerment. I'm moving it back slightly, so, all right.
At a government level is utterly unacceptable to me, and I believe that the majority of people in this country feel the same way as me. Speak to your local MP, complain about it on any avenue you have. This is unacceptable, and we have to use our collective voices when we see wickedness being put into legislation. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the government was supposed to help people. To help people. This is why every country have government. To help people, to unify the country in a way to make us feel safe. But instead, they're creating division after division. They have it in the UK, they have it in the US, pretty much everywhere. And then these people, they refuse to stay in their homeland. They go overseas, creating more chaos. They do it everywhere. I don't know when people gonna catch up. All right, let me read a few of these comments and then move on. Vivi said, while we can't solve many of the issues that cause homelessness, there are many easy solutions to provide shelter with a touch of humanity. First of all, the paying people fair wages, create job for them. Okay, so that's a start. But instead, they harnesses everything for themselves. That's the problem. Okay, it's heartbreaking to see how far we have to go to ensure everyone has access to basic necessities. We must do better. Remember in some old videos I've said, they're taking every natural resources away from you. Now when they need something out of you, they'll drip a little bit at a time to you like a dog, so for you to do things for them. These are things that God have given us for free. All right, the land, they harnessed everything. Look what happened when what is it, what's that, I think William has the Prince of Wales. I think there's properties that people supposed to pay to them and all of that. If let's say someone have a house in that particular area, I'm just saying based on my very basic understanding, if they don't have a will for the property, the property goes back to the institution, to the monarch or to the royal family and all of that. Why? Okay, these are things for the UK people to question themselves. All right, there's that. We're all one heartbreak, one addiction, one job loss, one breakdown away from homelessness. After Suella Braverman loses her seat at the next general election, she must never again be given the power to corrupt minds or destroy lives. That's just her, pretty much the Tories. I really thought, I've said this so many times in some other videos. In the US, we had the 2020 election. And a few months later, I mean, it's not like I used to follow UK politics. It's just because I've been following the Sussexes. And I was aware the UK was going to have their main election. I was so sure, just like the American people were so sure who should have been president. I'm talking about the 2020 election. I was so sure the UK had that down pack. Oh my God, I was shocked to see not only some good ones lost their seat, they bring more back cruelty. So all these, I don't know. I really don't understand the UK. They prefer, I guess, they harness racism better than their own well-being. So this is something the UK have to look deeper into themselves. Because I'm still from the outside looking in. I really thought they had that down pack. But instead, you know, I hear the rhetoric that was going on leading to that particular election in the UK. What is it? Immigrants coming to their shore. They're going to do this. They're going to take that. And they had some sort of a meeting. There's a video that I have. It's buried within one of my videos. A video clip that they had at a church. This young man, oh my God, when you look at his face as he was talking, he was so fixated. You could see the anger within him about white immigrant coming here. Why don't you this, that, you know, all the negative things you could think about where you know something is going on in those people's homeland. They're running away from. And they prefer more cruelty. And look what's happening in the Middle East. Bombardment, everybody shut their mouth. The only sane individual who said something that really will pretty much prevent immigrants coming to your shore was one, I have it on a video, is one Irish politician who said it exactly how it should have been. All right, people need to stop it. You know, I'll put the thumbnails of that video. Okay, so to prevent immigrants from coming to your home, to your shore, to your country, the best way is to make sure their homes, their land is safe, so they don't have to travel. Not everybody. You think all these people who migrate to other countries, you think they really want to leave their home? Where they grew up, where they feel comfortable? Yes, they might travel for work here and there, but technically, they pretty much want to stay home. But people cannot live in a fire. People cannot live where bomb is throwing at you left and right non-stop. If their home were safe, you think they'll be running? These are the things people need to think and make their government accountable for that. They don't tell you up front, this is what I'm doing in this country. You have all those business people. I don't know when they're ever going to stop wanting money, because throughout, I don't know, their existence, when money become a thing, because before money, it used to be exchanging of services, good and services, in terms of you do this for me, I'll do that. You give me this, I'll do that. Someone came along and decided to create money, and then from there, this is where everything go haywire, because if they could harness as much money as possible, they could manipulate you. So many of these business people, all they care about is money. They destroy life. I don't even need to say, you see what's going on in the Middle East right now, destroying lives, and the pretense of one thing, and then the true meaning behind their action is not being said. Okay, I do not want to go in the Middle East, but that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. I decided to make this one video. I'm almost an hour on this. That should have been that long. Next tweet. There's that. Okay, what is that? That's Jodiva. So the current queen of the United Kingdom was a kept woman. That was a while back. I'm surprised I didn't put it. Oh, that's like 2 days ago. Okay, November 3rd she posted that. Did I cover it already? Alright, so let's focus on it.
Oh, you didn't know that? Never really accomplished anything. Always had to have her hand out in order to eat, dress herself, or put a roof over her head. Her whole life went from her daddy's house to the Parker Bulls to Shuck. That's an ad. Let me read what's there. Oh my God, I don't want to read too much. Okay, kept in the finest of the finery. Pig and Trolani. Not only was Camilla a kept woman, but her husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, was a kept man. He was just an officer in the military when he married Camilla. He couldn't afford the lifestyle of the royals. Charles paid for everything, hinting that is why he allowed access to Camilla. Oh, this is so freaking sick. This is so freaking... I swear the image that come in my head is ridiculous. This must be one between the leg. Good time for Chuck. I don't know. I'm putting as simple as I can because there's more crazy words that I could have used. Let me read the 5 comment under there. I honestly believe they used to share her. Read the tabloid and papers. A mutually beneficial arrangement indeed. It sickened me how much the royal family and the British media has romanticized this utterly trashy story. I'm telling you. Yes. Okay, isn't that the way it has traditionally been done? I don't know. Wonder who is the father of her children. Let me leave that alone. They look like her though. So there's that. Okay, I read this. It went back so to 5. Let me read bottom up. Oh, okay. Toothpaste squeezer is a kept man too. Those quite have to do the shit. Okay. And fine style, Charles forgot that he had children of his own. I don't think this part here with his kids. He never loved Diana. The offspring of Diana, I don't think he has any feelings for them, including Egg. This was a job he had to do for the firm. He did it, 2 nights maybe, did it and done with. There's the heir and there's the spare and he's done. His job was done. Okay, I think there's in some shape or form he had said that his job is done, so he went on and have fun with that woman. All right, the spare walking around with her holes in his shoes and buying his clothes at TK Maxx once a year sale. I assume it was not just furniture that Megan bought for him. I don't want to go in it because it's going to start all the way up. Okay, and still is courtesy of the taxpayers. Unseen Camilla, the 5 ages of a future queen from mistress to monarchy. There's no self-respect over there. Oh, absolutely. Chuck used Duchy of Commonwealth funds to pay her living expenses and staff wages and a string of personal costs which include 2 part-time secretaries, a driver, a gardener, bodyguards, travel, jewelry, and clothes for engagement she attended with him. Baggage for God. Meanwhile, his son can get none of that. Yes, she's a slatter. She participated in one kind of a job. You didn't know this? Wow. So what is this here? All right. In my humble opinion, that's why the Church of England didn't have the same words about piety and virtue for her as they did when Charles' grandmother was crowned. I had wondered whether for Camilla coronation they will change the word they used for Queen Elizabeth, the later Queen Mom, in 1937, and indeed they have gone a piety and virtue, example, intriguing and funny. There's a laugh, not my queen. What is that here? Archbishop of Canterbury. Almighty. Okay, read that. I don't want to read. The ring. Okay, so there's all of the. I know some of you don't like when I say pause your screen and read, but this is one of them. I'm sorry. There's another one. Okay, so there's that. Okay, not only was Camilla. Okay, I read this, so that's it. Let's go to the next one, and that's my last one for this video. Okay, regarding Mistress. Okay, what do you think that dog is thinking? Okay, get the dog. It's like, get this woman next to me out of there. Look at his eyes and his ears pointing back. Oh my goodness, let's read some of them. Which dog do you mean? The Rottweiler? I literally let out loud laugh when I first saw it. I think my comment is in there. People are just laughing. Yeah, people are just laughing. Where's my car? Oh, there it is. Oh shit, I literally let out a laugh. I did when I first saw it. Oh my god. Okay, this dog is absolutely thinking. Princess Diana was right. It is a Rottweiler. No offense to actual Rottweilers, mind you. The dog looks terrified. There's an ad. Oh my lord, every animals around these people. Same thing this horse was thinking. I'll go into the image. Let me read some of these. Oh shit. What? Oh my lord. The dog is thinking exactly what we are thinking. Somebody taught it English. I'm cuter. Why are you making me pose with a Rottweiler? The dog is thinking I look way better than this. That's the word here. Oh my god, look at the horse. It feels like they just placed her next to it like a Photoshop thing. Even her smile is not even... Wait a second. Why is it going on? You know what? Let's leave that alone. That's it. Let's do a prayer. Prayer for... I don't know, the word self-worth. I don't know. Prayer. Is that a thing? I don't know. That's the word that popped up in my mind. There's a prayer. Okay, loving God, I come to you seeking acceptance and love. Help me to see myself as you see me. I was saying self-worth mostly because of the Kenya thing. As your beautiful and unique creation worthy of love and respect, when I compare myself to others and feel inadequate, remind me that my identity isn't caught up in theirs, that you see me as I really am. Okay, so that's the prayer and that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link, a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And if you want to help support me further, go on my Patreon and and help support me. Now, on Patreon, I do not have a schedule. I have to say that. I do not have a schedule of when I post things. I wanted to do everything for free, but you know, time consuming. YouTube is really not really helping, so I create everything for free. I don't even create. Maybe this might sound stupid for doing that and saying it as well. I don't even create membership in here because I do not see the numbers on YouTube or adding up. So instead, if you want to support me further when I have other kind of videos I want to share with you, sometimes it has nothing to do with the Sussexes, I will post them on Patreon. So that will be the reason why you will help support me instead of creating a membership on my channel. Alright, so that's that. That's it. I'm gonna focus on video 2 now. Alright, so that's it for now.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.